city is secure. Those who fled are being hunted, and those foolish enough to remain have been executed.
Do you see all that I have done?
Our first game is Destiny 2. Destiny 2 Beyond Light will support free cross-gen upgrade for PlayStation 5 alongside all expansions for the game. Announced as part of Destiny 2 reveal stream, players who bought Beyond Light on PS4 can expect to upgrade their copies of the expansion for free when they move into the next gen consoles. Game director Mark Noseworthy confirmed that all content you own, past and present, will also be cross-gen. On top of that, crossplay was confirmed for Destiny 2. This means that you can play on the PlayStation 5 while your friends are on the PlayStation 4. Noseworthy also mentioned that the team is also looking at full crossplay for next year.
There will be no coming back.
It's worth it.
Our next game is Godfall. Godfall is one of the first games announced for the PlayStation 5, and it's an upcoming looter slasher from Counterplay Games. Most recently, a gameplay trailer debuted at the PlayStation 5 Future of Gaming event, showing off the unique combination of melee combat and abilities. Godfall offers a fantasy setting and a soul-like combat system that can be experienced both single player and co-op, with the chance to choose from 1 or 5 weapon classes and 12 total valor plates that provide abilities. Gearbox is yet to reveal when the game will launch, but there has been a general release window provided on holiday 2020. Our next game is Dustborn. Dustborn was the first newly announced game at Games Radar Future Games Show, and it genuinely looks pretty good. For the developers behind Dreamfall Chapter, this PlayStation 5 game is set in an alternate version of America in 2030, and features a black female protagonist, which is really quite refreshing. Paz is also pregnant, which is described as an important aspect of the experience. Ragnar Torquist, creator, director, and CEO of Red Thread Games, told Games Radar it's because she comes to this crossroad in her life. As long as it's just her, she could deal with being unhappy. She could deal with living that life, you know, moving from couch to couch, from job to job. But now someone is coming into this world that she needs to protect. The game is set to come on December 31st of 2021.
On a distant alien world ruled by insects, only the strongest, fastest, and most cunning predators survive. This is not one of them.
Our next game is Flea Madness. Flea Madness is a multiplayer game which shows you that there is no place without madness in the Flea universe. This story begins when the spacecraft crashed on an unknown planet. Two species of aliens, fleas, destroy all life, and then start fighting for the title of the most creepy creature in the world, grown as a biological weapon. These insects live for the sole purpose eating everything that moves. Choose which race you belong to and destroy other ones with your team. This game is set to come next year of 2021. Our next game is Project Tatia. Project Tatia was among the many games revealed at the PlayStation 5 reveal event, and is visually impressive. The game is developed by Luminous Studios exclusively for the PlayStation 5, but no details has been released regarding at the launch date. The teaser trailer for Project Atia was only a minute long and did not provide enough detail on the story, setting, and gameplay, but it was more than enough to make an impact. The game world looks simply stunning, and the character models and assets look impressive as well. Our next game is Dying Light 2. Ever since developer Techland announced that Dying Light 2, its upcoming zombie slaying action game, will be releasing in 2020 at the tail end of this console generation, fans have been wondering whether the title will launch on PlayStation 5, in addition to their home game predecessors. It will certainly make business sense after all, and allow the sequel to 2015 Dying Light to really prove itself as a technical showcase when running on the high-powered hardware of the next generation consoles. Thankfully, the studio has already confirmed that Dying Light 2 will indeed release on PlayStation 5. As a cross-gen title, through the exact timing of the launch are yet to be decided. Our next game is Destruction AllStars. Destruction AllStars is one of the multiplayer games in development for the PlayStation 5. Sony announced in the Future of Gaming event. Developed by British studio Lucid Games, Destruction AllStars looks like a destruction derby, with a diverse cast of characters who fight in a futuristic arena. Destruction AllStars is an action-packed sport event that pits drivers against one another in an intense competition. The goal: crash as many cars as possible. The game is set to come out this holiday of 2020. Our next game is Ghostwire Tokyo. It's an upcoming action-adventure game developed by Tango Gameworks and published by Bethesda for PlayStation 5. You play in the first-person perspective. The player can use various psychic and paranormal abilities to defeat the ghosts and spirits haunting Tokyo. Combat director Shinichiro Hara described the combat as karate meets magic, as the player character utilizes hand movement inspired by Kuji-Kiri, hand gesture to cast spells. When an enemy loses most of their health, its core is exposed and the player can use takedown moves to destroy it, killing the spirit. Nearly all of Tokyo's citizens has vanished mysteriously, and otherworldly spirits known as visitors have invaded the city. The player character's supernatural power begins to manifest as the player combats the spirit haunting the city. He encounters a group wearing Hanaya masks who may unveil the mystery behind the strange events in Tokyo. The game is set to release next year in 2021.
PlayStation.
Did you see that?
Like my ride, bro? Off the Wombat!
It's Ratchet and Clank!
Our last game is Ratchet & Clank. Ratchet & Clank is back for another adventure on PlayStation 5. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart is an interdimension adventure in which you'll be able to leap from planet to planet almost instantly using rifts. It harnesses the ray tracing power of the PlayStation 5 for next-gen visuals, such as Clank reflections. Insomnia suggested it'll take advantage of the DualSense controller and have haptic feedback to make Ratchet Arsenal more exciting than ever. It even seems like you'll be able to ride a dragon too. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart will be the first new entry in the classic PlayStation platforming third-person shooter series since the 2016 rework of the first game for PlayStation 4. Insomnia has not yet announced a release date. And remember, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, elbow drop that subscribe button and slap that like and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. I see you guys later.